time on Klay Thompson, and I know that's a task, running around screens and trying to get through and fighting it. What were you focused on there, and what's kind of like the key to what you do?
Just try not to let him catch the ball. Obviously, with the way Draymond plays, he does a very good job of getting everybody open. So it's kind of hard, even like how he was playing tonight. Kind of left people to work on an island on those guys, especially in those situations. But the game plan worked, and we got a big win.
3 new teammates integrated into the lineup today. That isn't always easy, especially with no practice. So how did you guys do it, and how did you end up using it as an advantage almost?
Really just try to play basketball. Move it, get off of it, screen, cut, play in transition. So, all of us have been playing basketball for a long time, so the message was we don't really know each other, so let's just move it, and whoever's open, shoot it.
Of course, you've been standing in and taking hits for your whole career here with the Lakers. We could see the one from the elbow in that first quarter. Second quarter? First quarter. Yeah, first half. What does that say kind of about you, and how does it feel at this moment?
I don't know. It says I'm not very smart for just taking the hits all the time. I don't know. I just try to be in the right position at the right time, and sometimes that's the wrong position at the right time. I don't know. I got 2 free throws. I bricked one. I'm going to blame it on getting hit, but, it's part of the game.
What were the things that stood out to you out of the new guys, in particular, Jared and Malik and D'Lo?
Just the way they play. It's good basketball. They've obviously all played together, so that helps quite a bit because, they're going to be in rotations together, and you kind of just got to piece around that. So they were big tonight. Vando off the bench, they have 12 points, however many rebounds, but it was all the energy plays that stood out to all of us. We're happy with what everybody can bring to the table, and it's just going to get better the way we mesh together these next couple weeks, and moving forward from there.
Things got tight late. New group, new players out there. How did you still find a way to execute against a team that's played together for a while?
Just our guys' communication. They were out there talking to each other, talking to new guys through, some of the actions. And, at the end of the day, the key is to put the ball in the hands of your best players. And we were able to do that, play through A little bit, Dennis, D'Angelo, all those guys, Rui, had big moments. But us communicating to them and them communicating amongst themselves, I think it allowed for us to, have a rhythm and some consistency.
Darvin, do you get any just initial sense of the team vibe and how that is with the new blood in there and towards that end, kind of what you saw from Russell and Vanderbilt specifically out there on the floor?
They know what we're trying to do. We talked about that. The reason they were brought in here, not only because they're talented, but we believe that, they truly can help us make a strong push down the stretch. So we talked about it before the game. The 3 words we use: energy, effort, and urgency. Energy, effort, and urgency. And that's what we played with tonight against a very, very, very great ball club in Golden State. Championship pedigree through and through. Make you play the full shot clock, defend the full shot clock. Have to figure them out defensively. They have a really active, energetic defense. But it's a huge win, man. I couldn't be more proud of my team.
Darvin, sorry, Dave. I have a lot to ask.
Dan.
I like that there's we're 2 of the only people old enough in here to get that reference. Austin wasn't really regarded as a defender coming into this league. What did you think of the job he did on Klay in the fourth quarter tonight? And I guess secondarily, now that he's back, you had AD in the back line, you had Vanderbilt. How different can this team be on that side of the ball?
I think we can be elite. Vandy, the way he rebounds, his activity, he can block shots. Winyan had some good moments, changing up shots, rebounding. Obviously, AD, that's what he does. And then you mentioned Austin, to start out. Those first 2 words I mentioned, he represents those, energy and effort. And, he's scrappy, he's smart, he understands what we're trying to get done within the defensive game plan, and you saw it. You know, he has that moxie, he's crafty on both sides of the ball, and even defensively. The way he tries to blow up DHOs, getting over pick and rolls, you know, closing the gap on the ball and then getting under real quick in pick and roll defense, playing on the ball. He's just a scrapper, and he does his work early. So, you know, he does what he does offensively, but defensively, you know, he has a high IQ, and again, he has that energy that he puts into that side of the ball.
Darvin, what do you make of AD's night? He doesn't shoot all that well from the field, but he has those 2 blocks late against Klay and DiVincenzo. Do you think some of the shooting was maybe the new personnel not necessarily knowing his spots and him, you know, taking up awkward shots he wouldn't normally take? And then just a question about the perseverance to be able to still affect the game late on the defensive end.
I just think, you know, he's working himself back in a game shape. And, you know, his touch, like I said, Golden State, from Draymond to Wiggs, Jermichael, Looney, all those guys are extremely smart defenders. And even the smalls, they'll dart in there. Once he puts the ball on the floor, he turns his back. They're showing a crowd. They're darting in there, getting their hands on, you know, deflections or whatnot. So it's a really unorthodox yet effective defense to try to go against. And but he stood, you know, he had some tough moments at points, but he stayed with it. And again, he's a guy that's a two-way player. So you felt his presence on defense. He drew a lot of attention on offense. We were able to get, I thought, some easy looks at the rim. Layup just with him being in the pick and roll, setting a good screen and rolling, them being concerned about his role. So, but, you know, he plays effectively and at a high level on both sides of the ball. You saw that with those late blocks.
Darvin, I asked you last time about Dennis in these games, but, you know, obviously you got a lot of new rotation pieces to juggle and a lot of different ways you could go. Dennis in the starting and closing lineups, what do you think he adds to the groups he's in when he gets that nod?
Just fearlessness. You know, he's fearless. You know, he's not afraid to go make a play. He's not afraid to take a shot. He's not afraid to go attack the rim, even though he may get knocked down or, you know, go take the toughest matchup defensively on the perimeter. The kid is just fearless. And those type of guys you can't have enough of. And it's the reason why I love him, the reason why I keep him in the mix as much as I possibly can, because I know he's going to make a play for us on both sides of the ball. He's another one. He's a two-way player.
All right, D'Angelo, new team, a new situation, tough building to play in. How did you guys get to the point where you're able to out-execute down the stretch? And what was the main point of view from you?
Just being out there, honestly, was, like I said, is a little weird. You know, just, you know, that first little stint, trying to get that little rust off, you know, just to feel a little comfortable. But honestly, I think everybody was just being aggressive. You know, being aggressive, you know, allowed them to have to guard everybody. You know what I mean? So being out there, and Dennis did a hell of a job just, you know, kind of controlling that pace and making things happen. AD complimenting that. And you got other guys. Rui was big as well, just kind of making plays. So when we can continue to make plays from everybody continue to make plays and not just, you know, sit back and watch, I think that makes us a little more dangerous.
AD said that you and he had an ongoing talk, basically dialogue throughout the game,
Yeah.
and then in crunch time, you know, trying to figure all that out. What's your point of view just with AD, how to play off him, you know, when to shoot, when to pass, where you want him to be, all that?
I mean, really just trying to play off of him. You know, obviously him being involved in the action, if I have the ball or whatnot, there's a lot of gravity that calls for. So for me, just trying to capitalize off that. So my man has to be honest, and he doesn't have the tendency to leave me and migrate towards him. So giving him space to operate and then seeing ways he could compliment me as well, just in that in-between game.
D'Angelo, over here. To follow up on the AD question, he said that at halftime, you, him, and LeBron were all going over kind of plays and drawing things up and how you could complement each other. How do you feel like you three fit together and the different ways you can play off of those two specifically and the ways that you can unlock things for them?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be an experience. Obviously, what they have going works. So for me to fit with them, I got to figure out how I can fit, and I think that's going to happen over time and experience, being in the situation. And we got a few games left. It's not like we got the whole season ahead of us, so making every moment count. And I think communication is going to smooth out that process and make it efficient. And, Brian's not playing right now, so it's just kind of me and AD communicating through those little things. So the sooner we can get, guys out there as well, and we can just actually go through it, and it's not just us talking. We can actually get some reps under our belts. I think that'll make it easy.
Obviously wasn't your most efficient night and not necessarily getting all calls you probably wanted inside. What did you have to do to just find other ways to impact the game and integrate the new guys and find a way to pull away for a victory?
I just shifted my mindset to the defensive end. Refs going to miss calls, just how we miss shots and we turn it over and everything. I just wanted to go down and get every rebound and block every shot. That was just my mindset just shifted. Other guys stepped up, D'Lo, Dennis, Vando played well, Austin, Rui, all these guys just stepped up and made big plays. So, I just wanted to go out and contribute another way,
Any initial thoughts on Russell and Vanderbilt specifically, the impact that they had and what that gives you now as you guys go forward?
Yeah, Vando do what he do. Offensive rebound, defensive rebound, finish around the rim, play make. When he catch it in the pocket. And D'Lo did what he did, started off slow trying to make reads, but we continued to talk the entire game. Me and D'Lo literally talked the entire game about pick and roll, what he see, what I see, what he like, what I like, where he liked the ball, just throughout the course of the game, just trying to, build that chemistry on the fly, with no practice and, only having, film and things, just did a great job of communicating. Bees as well. So it was good. It was good we were able to get the win, while we're trying to figure it out.
Digging a little more in on that relationship with D'Lo, how much pregame prep did you have at all with him, and what do you get from sort of his rhythm for the game that are you starting to feel where maybe some of those opportunities will be when you guys run plays together?
Yeah, I obviously know how you play, how he likes to play, but it's different when you're guarding it and now you're in action. So, like I said, just that constant communication. We had some times where we hit on some plays, sometimes we missed, but it comes with the chemistry building, and I think for the most part, as long as we continue to talk, we'll be fine. We even talked about when Bron come back. At halftime, we drawing up plays on the board. Me, D'Lo, and Bron. Bron, we want you here. Just trying to constantly just speed up this process. Being behind the 8-ball. I think we did a good job of that tonight.
AD, you said you liked what this team had on paper on, I think that was Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
48 minutes does not a season change, but
Absolutely.
what did you think of just seeing all the new pieces kind of together, and did it give you confidence about the stretch moving forward?
Yeah, we're still missing Mo, but I think we look really good out there tonight. We even said a couple times on the bench. When I was out, Brian, as well made a comment that we're going to be really good. I think guys just played free. Guys, running their lanes offensively. Locked in defensively, with Klay and Jordan, being the main focuses on when Steph is out. They got away from us a couple times, but I think, like I say, just constant communication, constant learning. But overall, I think we'll be fine.
Even prior to these most recent trades, we were on that road trip, and you and LeBron were talking about Rui, wanting him to be aggressive with it. And you saw him take some shots, that were consequential in the fourth quarter tonight. Did you see any ways that the newer guys, Malik and Jared and D'Lo, asserted themselves from the very start? Anything that stood out in terms of, because that's what you were talking to us about that you want to see from those guys?
Yeah, like I say, Malik went 0 for 6 from 3. and I'm okay with that. I mean, obviously his first game, but we don't want him to hesitate. Let it fly. You know, he shoots the ball too well to hesitate. You know, just let it fly. Just keeping his confidence up. You know, he'll be fine. You know, as far as when I said Thursday, I don't want anyone to defer. You know, D'Lo came in and got to it, you know, right away. You know, whether he missed or, or made, he continued to, put pressure on the defense and play his style of basketball. You know, and so did Vando. Came in and did. You know, I think all the guys came in. You know, new guys came in and did what they we thought they were going to do. You know, and you know, because of that, we were able to get the win.
AD, you guys have lost some close games this season, but what was different tonight, especially considering you got all these new players and there's no LeBron James either?
We defended. And quite frankly, like, it's our third quarter. We held on to 26 points and we scored 34. You know, we've been a very terrible third quarter team, and this is one of the better third quarter teams in the league. And we knew that, I think we were down 2 at half. We wanted to come out and win the third quarter, you know, and we were able to do that. But towards the end, you know, like you said, close game, just building on our defense, you know, and making plays on the offensive end, but particularly on the defensive end, you know. Guys, you know, locked in on Klay and Jay Poole where, you know, they had to shoot a 2 and not a 3. It wasn't open. The guys were in their airspace. And we had the guys, you know, shooting that we wanted to shoot, and we rebounded the basketball. So, you know, it was a great all-around game for us tonight.
AD, during the championship season, you guys had a lot of success playing bigger and having these giant lineups with multiple 6'9" and above guys. Do you feel like you guys are kind of recreating that with this group now, where adding in Vanderbilt, you know, you mentioned Mo hasn't played yet, but just kind of the size that you guys have now in the front court and what you can do defensively?
Yeah, you know, adding those guys, adding Malik, who's like 6'4". I don't want to, you know, 6'4", 6'5", you know, Austin, you know, all these guys, you know, we have a bigger group now, so it helps with our, you know, defense and things of that nature. But, you know, as far as the front court, yeah, I mean, Vando, Wynn, even Rui at times, Brown come back, you know, so, you know, playing big has definitely looked good for us, you know, having 2 bigs on the floor, and it seemed to work. So, I mean, obviously, Coach will continue to test it out and see what works, but it looked good tonight.